Sneak Peekers, my name is Margot, and like many others, I've been a little obsessed with James Gunn as of late. Now, I have to confess, I have spent my life up to this point not caring about the superhero genre in the slightest. I missed the boat to get into it as a kid, and I thought it was too convoluted and dense to worm my way in. That was until I discovered James Gunn. After being forcefully dragged to Superman this summer, I left surprisingly wanting to see more. I began doing my homework, and after watching season 1 of Peacemaker, I was officially hooked. And lucky for me, I had finished it just in time to immediately start season 2. Conceptually, James Gunn did a great job of setting up a further exploration of Chris's character, and this also marks the first time I didn't turn off the TV at the introduction of a multiverse. The contrasting immediate familial situation for Chris between the two seasons, accompanied with the drastic differences of the world outside of that, prevents a very nuanced critique of having your cake and eating it too. But I have to say, this season hasn't fully lived up to my expectations. Don't get me wrong, I'm still incredibly excited and sad that the finale is releasing later this week, but I can't help comparing it to season 1. I can't be the only one who thought the episodes this season were nothing burgers. The big reveal of the season that Peacemaker's dream reality is actually one where the Nazis won World War II came 2 episodes before the finale, and for the most part, audiences had largely predicted what it was by episode 3. The consistent building up of tension with no release made for a really frustrating viewing experience. I also couldn't help but feel disappointed in this season's characterization of the supporting cast, who brought so much of the initial charm to the series' first season. Apart from Harcourt, the rest of the supporting cast either frustrated me into oblivion, looking at you economists, or had their running jokes beaten into us. Anyone want to quiz me on dead horse facts? Gunn has obviously been spread a little thin, having written the second season almost directly after finishing the scripts for both Creature Commandos and Superman, but I do wish this season had more intentional character writing and better pacing. Getting out of the weeds now, I wanted to discuss a few predictions in anticipation for the upcoming season finale releasing this Thursday. The biggest one fans have been clamoring for all season is an appearance from G.I. Robot, the Nazi-killing robot from World War II first introduced in Gunn's Creature Commandos. As much as I would love to see G.I. in live action, I'm of the opinion that we aren't getting a live-action G.I. Robot, at least not in this season. While it could make sense for Rick Flag Sr. to call upon his old friend from Creature Commandos to fight the Nazis from Earth X, it feels like it would come way out of left field, especially since there's been no reference to Flag's time with the Creature Commandos thus far. But to play devil's advocate, it would make for an excellent curveball for the season. Alternate Nazi Dimension Keith appears to be gearing up for a confrontation in the main timeline, and from the end of episode 6, we know that the people from this dimension have an awful mob mentality. It certainly wouldn't be the first unexpected cameo from this season, so maybe there's some hope for the Tin Man yet. One of the more wild fan theories points to the mysterious origin of the dimensional transportation device, and more significantly, Peacemaker's helmets. This season answered the question of how Peacemaker's dad acquired his interdimensional portal, but it also established that Augie was never the technical genius he's alluded to in the first season, creating most of his gear from stolen alien technology, which led fans to ask, where did Augie get Peacemaker's helmets? This fan theory, which I cautiously hope is true, suggests that Flag's investigation into the origin of portal technology will reveal that it came from the Fourth World, home to the new gods of New Genesis and Darkseid of Apocalypse. Obviously, introducing the home to one of the Justice League's greatest enemies in a Suicide Squad spin-off series doesn't make a ton of sense, but remember that James Gunn was the first Marvel director to properly introduce Thanos back in Guardians of the Galaxy. Several fans have predicted that Peacemaker's helmets could have been derived from a stolen helmet of Orion, Darkseid's son/nemesis, whose design is almost identical to Peacemaker's, down to the very silver helmet. But as fun as this theory is, I think the portals will more than likely end up coming from Brainiac, the predicted villain of Superman, Man of Tomorrow. This season has already dealt with the fallout of the events of Superman, so it's not hard to imagine Gunn teeing up an Argus discovering Brainiac's impeding arrival in the finale. But there's always the option that this finale feels as empty as the rest of the show. We'll have to wait until Thursday to see if Peacemaker makes the landing. But what do you think? Is there going to be a big reveal by the end, or are we stuck with wondering what's happening with Lex? Tag us at Sneak Peek TV to let us know your thoughts. My time is up now, but we'll be right back after a quick commercial break.